Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our second Link to the Past Randomizer Mystery Seed. I am Nitro6003. And today we are going to be doing our second seed here. And it looks like we are at least with the standard opening here. And a sword in the first chest. And we have crystals at all of our dungeons in the overworld. And we do have our sword here now. And we have Cane of Samaria as our weapon that Uncle gives us. So we actually had two starting weapons here, which is interesting. We don't know if it's anything else is randomized here yet. Looks so far like it's a standard. Looks at the moment like a 7-7 defeat Ganon at this point. We don't know and won't know if it's a PED or all dungeon seed until later. But it looks at this point like it is at least a standard opening. We don't know if it's boss randomization or not yet. We know it's not Enemizer. We know it's not Ambrosia. We know it's not Key Sanity, as that would be different menu options as well. And being that we started with the Cane of Samaria and the sword, it is actually really a good place to start. And there's the other cane. So we now have the Cane of Samaria and the Cane of Berna all together here. I wonder if that is inciting an early stint into Blind's hideout, because that is pretty much the easiest way to take out Blind in Thieves Town. So we know we have all crystals in the overworld. What we don't know yet is if we're gonna get bombs before we get into the castle, into the escape sequence. We're gonna have to hope that we can get bombs somewhere. But right now we're not looking so hot on that situation. If you watched our last one, there's the Blue Mal. It was a Triforce hunt, and we had to find 20 pieces of the Triforce. And that was also a standard opening, but that was also a boss randomization as well. So if you've watched that one already, then this is obviously a little different already. We already have Blue Mail. We didn't get our sword, if you remember, or watched it until much later. I think it was actually almost at the very end at that point that we got our sword. The Aga plate was dead pretty early, as we got a hammer, I believe, from now there's bombs. And remember, we had an early stink to Pyramid Fairy as well. So now we leave the escape sequence here. We do have bombs, so we are ready to go now at this point. Basically, now we just finish the escape and, see what else we can get ourselves into. We do not have access yet to the entirety of Eastern Palace, although we could go in there and at least see what it is. But without seeing that it's not Enemizer, we really can't do very much in Eastern Palace. so we'll probably stay away from there. But now we still don't know what go mode is going to be. Like if it was a if it was a search for something. But anyway, this is a mystery seed. We are gonna change up the seed after this one. We will not do a third mystery seed. And I believe the next one we are gonna do live. We're gonna try. This was supposed to be live, but unfortunately there was some technical difficulties with going live, so we're gonna just stick with it. And please do not forget that we are gonna finish Randomizer Maxi that is on the table, but just taking a quick break from it. We are recording it as we speak, but right now we're just a little bit behind in getting that finished. And this has to be the key here in Dark Cross. Now, because this is a standard opening, whoops, you are given a free lamp in the escape sequence, but that is it. After this, all the rooms are dark, pitch black. You are responsible for having either the fire rod, if there is fire rod things, which actually in the newer versions of the randomizer, Dark Cross becomes in logic once you have the fire rod, because it allows you to get all the way to Dark Cross. So it is something to think about. It used to be the lamp did that, but now the logic has changed. There's our map, a heart container, and 20 bucks. We are still short on money, unfortunately. A little bit for Kakariko. We do have a little bit of money, but we're going to find out pretty shortly if AGA 1 is going to be required or not. We already have the blue mail, which is nice. We're going to try to keep our the videos to, the entirety of the seed, not splitting it up. But at least, again, if it was a entrance randomizer or a key sanity or something like that would require us to do multiple streams, that would be the only thing. We would obviously be writing things down, which would take longer. So just bear in mind that as long as we don't get one of those crazy 3-hour seeds, I think we'll be okay. But again, we'll see what happens. So definitely no enemizer. We would have known that right away. And not inverted. And it does not look like entrance either, but we will find out. We don't know, because I believe if it's standard, you could still have entrances be randomized, but I'm not sure, and I don't want to be quoted on that. All right, so level 1 tree pull, just a single rupee there. Unfortunately, nothing that we can use, and just some magic there. We're gonna leave that alone as well. Let's see if it's officially a AGA 1 seed. Definitely not a entrance randomizer, as we don't. And AGA 1 is now, I wouldn't call him on life support, because we certainly don't have any of the equipment to get into the dark world yet at all. We have no. Oh, and we also have arrows there as well. So, $5 there. We're gonna leave that alone as well. We'll take the bombs though. Can always use extra bombs for Kakariko. We only need about $100 to at least get most of the things in Kakariko as well. So again, we still are lamp and cape away from AGA 1, or lamp and sword away from AGA 1. And from Dark World Access, we are hammer and 2 gloves and moon pearl, or hammer or just 2 gloves. Hammer and 1 glove and Moon Pearl, or no hammer and both gloves and the Moon Pearl would also give us the Dark World access. If you remember in the last seed, whoopsies, that's gonna be awful, because I don't think we can now get all the chests in one go, so we're gonna have to come back in here. I messed that up for the first time as we get our flippers. That opens up Zora. And I don't think I've messed this up in forever, so we're gonna have to let that reset itself here. It's just an unfortunate accident that happens. It happens every once in a while. If you don't push the right block, you cannot, there's no way to fix it other than restart. All right, so there's a piece of heart there, 20 bucks, and another piece of heart there. So, on Blind's Hut. The flippers are nice. Prevents us from having to do fake flippering. We can go up to Waterfall Ferry. We could also do the hobo as well, but we are nowhere near ready for any of that because we really don't have 500 rupees at this moment. But again, money is never considered. Well, speaking of money, there's 300 bucks. And another 20. We might have enough for Zora after all, so maybe we will go to King Zora or rip off. Oh, there's the hook shot, which is huge, and another piece of heart. So that is really interesting to get the hook shot. I have not figured out how to not pause my game to update the tracker, so I do apologize. We do have to get some hinting here, though, and spend 100 rupees on a heart piece. So there's that. Let's see if we're successful enough in getting the chicken through the door. We got him! Chicken clip! Nice. And another 20 bucks there. We are 150 rupees short of Zora money at this point. But we don't have a bottle, so we can't do Sick Kid at this point. We're gonna have to do some major comebacks into Kakariko, as it is a very dry. There's the glove, though. That is one step closer to what we need. We do not have a bottle for that dude. We don't have the hammer or the powder for any of that. So let's see what's on the library ledge. And again, if you remember in the last game, it was a Triforce piece, and in this one, it is 20 bucks, which will just sit there for all eternity. One time, and I'm not sure if, again, that'll be a full stream like this, or if that'll be broken up, because, again, that'll be different. Oh, hello, 300 bucks. I'm going to go get that. Is we will do a 100% run of this where we get everything, where we make sure the game will allow us to get everything, including every key, everything. Because sometimes the keys can be locked in their own chest, so we're going to try really hard to get everything, all the items in this game. All right, time to do the South Shore. No lamp, really, no need to really, probably shouldn't go up the mountain just yet. You can if you'd like, if you're familiar enough with, you certainly can get all the way up Death Mountain if you're familiar with those dark rooms. Those are probably ones you should learn also. I've just not done that yet, so I'm gonna skip that for now because it just makes it a little easier. I'm going to see if I can do the hook shot clip here. I've done it a couple times here to get that, so you don't have to come back on that single rupee there. And let's see what is pulled from the dam itself. When I first played this game back as a kid when I was younger, it took me so long to find all these integral details with it. I'm gonna leave those bombs there too. We really do not need them. We do have money for Zora, and we can check Hobo and Waterfall of Wishing, so we might as well do all that as well. So yeah, it definitely at this point makes more sense now to do all that. We do have Keen of Burna, Keen of Samaria, so we'll see what we get. You gotta be really careful around all these crabs though, because they really are not fun to deal with. I mean, even with blue mail, they are just really not fun to deal with, unfortunately. So let's just see here. Don't really need that, but I figured why not grab it. Alright, full heart container there. 20 bucks. 50 bucks. More bombs. And 20 bucks. So really, so far, our big item is kind of the flippers and the hook shot and the gloves so far. We really haven't gotten anything else. We don't have boots to start at least. So we're still kind of limited, you know, without, you know, we're going to get a major item here at some point because, you know, we're going to run out of locations of, you know, what you can and can't check. Glad you've decided to join us here today on this edition of Link to the Past Randomizer. Again, I do know that at this point, the Randomizer Maxi quest is not done. I do apologize. It will be done as quickly as possible once we are uploaded with these two. I just wanted to get these on the channel because they are quicker. And 300 more bucks. By the way, getting lots of money does not mean that Zora necessarily has an item for you. It just means that you have enough money for the rest of the seed. Because even with Zora, Kiki, all the games you have to play, you're pretty much set as far as that's concerned. Now again, we're going to go all the way towards the first thing we need, which is the Hobo. And I'm going to take a little peek on what is on this island here. See if it's relevant in any way. Nope, we're going to leave the 10 arrows there. But again, I do want to get all of them at some point. I don't know if we're going to do a standard seed where we do that, an open seed where we do that. You know, maybe not a mystery seed. We still don't know how many crystals, or if it is a pedestal seed only, or if it's an all dungeon seed. We have no idea. And that's kind of the fun of the mystery seed. You really don't know anything about it until you get further on in the seed. Alright, Hobo just giving us more bombs. So unfortunately, not what we're hoping for. Still hoping for, you know, the boots, which would unlock stuff, the lamp, which would unlock the entirety of Death Mountain, or something that would lead us to that. We don't even have that. So yeah, we're gonna go to King Zora. We're gonna go to the Waterfall of Wishing and see what that fairy, the small fairy, has for us, and not the Pyramid Fairy. We are very far away from having the means to even do that. If you do need to fake flipper, you do need the Moon Pearl to get in here and do that. So just be aware of it. Single rupee there, 300 rupees there. All right, well, still so far nothing other than money. We now probably have enough money for the rest of the seed easily. So let's see what's on Zora's ledge. Is that important in this seed? It is. There is the Titan's Mint. That is very important. And we are one item away from Dark World access. That is the Moon Pearl. But now we can do Super Bunny Cave if we want. You know, those things are opened up to us once we get the lamp. Or if you know the dark rooms and are capable of doing them, you can do them now. And 500 bucks for 20 bucks, definitely not a good exchange, but at least it is another thing that is off our list. And there's our Titansmiths. Alright, so realistically now, it is probably best to go to the eastern area because at this point, the logic, if you are reading it that way, would suggest that obviously, yeah, but there's no other reason to go over there at this point. There's 3 items plus at least a couple of items in Eastern that we can get. Plus, it's a crystal. But if we were to get the Moon Pearl, or if we were to get the lamp in Sahasrah's closet, I would probably not go to Eastern Palace. I would probably go up Death Mountain instead, because there's a lot more items up there to really open things up. And I'm really not one that likes to ask Sahasrah where the green pendant is, even on a good day. There's the blue boomerang, a heart container, and a heart piece. So we are boomerang. So now realistically we have 2 choices. We can either start Eastern and probably not finish it. Probably not going to get both bow and lamp in Eastern Palace. But it's either Agena now, or either Agena or Eastern Palace at this point has to have something in it to give us access either to the Dark World or to Aghanim. So we are still 1 item away from Dark World access via Kakariko. We are, if the first item is the progression item, I'm thinking we bail out of Eastern Palace unless it's, like, if it's lamp, I don't think that we're going to get both lamp and bow here. Oh, there's the big key. That's not what we want. I mean, it is, but it isn't. So we're kind of limited on where. So if it's not here, it's going to be in Agena, and Agena will either have the Moon Pearl or the lamp, which would lead to going up Death Mountain. So that's really what we have left. Is we have to we either are going up Death Mountain, or we're gonna get the cape and have to do Aga 1. Well, there's a compass, still nothing. Old dungeon item so far. So we just, obviously we're just short on the map here, unfortunately, in this scenario. So we're really just kind of on fumes here. We're not gonna, I will check the back of Eastern, because I know the dark room's there well enough to do it. It is one of the few that you should learn, no matter what, because the dark rooms in Eastern are easy enough where you should not have a problem. All right, so is this the map? It is the Fire Rod. Oh boy. Well, that immediately puts Eastern Palace into the logic, because you need the Fire Rod. The Fire Rod does not help us in other ways. There's the single arrow. It doesn't help us with the back, but it does help us with the front. And I'm going to show you how to do the back of Eastern Palace. It is not hard. So here's what you do when you get into the room. Put your sword out. Go in the door. Go up. Go in the door. That's it. That is the dark room of Eastern Palace. So this is either, so yes, technically it is in logic, but we don't have the bow, so we're still not able to even get to the Armos Knights. If it is the Armos Knights, it doesn't even matter if it is or isn't at this point, because we can't get there anyway. So it kind of is irrelevant. And you can, if you want. So this is going to be, if it's, yeah, so the last item is going to be on Armos Knights. So Agena is going to have the progression in this scenario, most likely, because the Fire Rod really doesn't unlock anything that we haven't had access to yet. We still can't get in. It does not unlock Death Mountain. It does not unlock any of that. So there's still a lot that we don't have access to, unfortunately, with it as it is, unless we get the book from Agena's Cave. Now that would give us access to, with the Titan's Mitts, to fully clear East Desert Palace. So we're still kind of hoping against hope, I guess, or whatever the case may be, hoping against it either way to see what we're going to get here in Agena's Cave. But this has got to be the answer. It's either going to be the Moon Pearl or it's going to be the lamp to get us up Death Mountain. Or it could be the book to get us access to Desert Palace. It could be the bow to help us finish Eastern Palace. Let's see, what is it? It is the flute. So there it is. That's how we are going to get up the mountain here. So we are done here. Still don't have. So there. So now that unlocks. Still does not unlock the old man, but it at least unlocks the ability to do East Death Mountain. So now we can, with the flute in hand, we can go hear that as well. So we will flute ourselves up to Death Mountain, and then we can at least get the item inside of Spectacle Rock and see what is on top if we decided to do that. Let's pause 10 seconds for the National Anthem of Hyrule. Alright, so we're gonna go see. Now with the hook shot, you could save the old man. Again, if you really know what you're doing, you could save the old man. It's not the hardest thing to do, but I'm just not as comfortable with it. 20 bucks on top of Spectacle Rock. What is the item here? It is 20 bucks, so that will stay there for the rest of the series as well. So no information just yet. We don't have a mirror, so we can't get into the dark world there. We could do Super Bunny Cave if we would. Oh, we might as well do that. We could do Super Bunny Cave too. Once we're all said and done on that, that is certainly something we can do as well. But let's see what we are given access to first on the Death Mountain side, because we have access to all of East Side Death Mountain now. And I'm going to try to show off that bomb jump. I've only done it a handful of times, so we'll see if we can get it done today. It's not something I have down to a science, but so let's see if this is going to give us more side quest per se. Heart piece and another heart piece there. Still no answers to what this quest wants us to do yet, though. 30 minutes in, we have no idea what we're supposed to do just yet. We still don't know if it's an all dungeon seed. We still don't know. We won't know that until we get into the dark world, unfortunately. It's just the way things go. So let's see. So we have 10 arrows there. The Moon Pearl that gives us dark world access. So now we definitely will check out and the powder and the Master Sword. So that was a successful trip. So if you put the bomb, I believe that should do it. Yep, so there's that. So like I said, it is not always the case where I get that bomb jump to look that easy. Trust me, it is not. But without the hammer, we still are kind of not able to do as much here on Spectacle Rock. But let's see what is at least what's there. 20 bucks. Don't need to worry about that. Might as well do Spiral Cave and do Dark Death Mountain and see where our pendants and crystals are in the dark world, to kind of know, to kind of like have an idea which dungeons we may or may not have to do at all. Now again, with access to the dark world with the flippers and the hook shot, we have pretty much full access to the Aga-1 has been killed. There is no chance of us having to do Aga-1 unless there's something on Pyramid Ferry, which we don't know yet, which would require us to do a hammer into Pyramid Ferry. If hammer was locked behind the Pyramid Ferry, that would be the only case now for Aga-1. But again, that is so unlikely. We'll take a look and see if any of the hammer dungeons are red. Oh, well. So we have pendant. All right, so we have 5-6 crystals at Misery Mire and at Thieves Town. We have Turtle Rock as a pendant, of course, because why isn't it always a pendant? We have Pod as a pendant, and the green pendant is where? Is at Swamp Palace. So that's your map. All right, so basically, boy, does that make things look really ugly. So technically, Misery Mire, we have accessible. It's not blocked by the hammer. So I'm going to say that as of right now, Thieves Town does not require the hammer either. So I guess, boy, is it ugly. It would be such a nasty thing. I don't think you need the hammer for Misery Mire either. I really have to think really back to whether you need the hammer for Misery Mire. I don't think so. So I think with the hammer, I don't think you need the hammer for Misery Mire at all. So I think we'd be okay. There's 20 bucks. And the shovel. Never a great item to find. Just more. And we might as well do all of this, including Hookshot Cave and all that other stuff, and see what the requirements to get into Turtle Rock are. What we don't know yet, and what we're going to find out shortly, is this a ped seed, which would mean that we have to do Turtle Rock, which would really, really be a pain in the butt. And I forgot the one chest over there, so let's go get that. And more money. So we only, as sad as this is, we only have access to the Dark World through Kakariko. So if you think of it this way, if you can do Aga-1 in the dark and you feel really strongly about a late hammer, then and only then would I say it's worth it to do Aga-1 if you think it's going to be like hammer buried somewhere in like really odd and awful places. So we're not going to do Thieves Town just yet, and I'll explain why in a minute. I do want to take the smith. Let me backtrack. We are going to do parts of Thieves Town. We are not going to obviously go into Thieves Town just yet, the dungeon, because what I want to do is I want to full clear all of, I guess we could clear Thieves Town before we do that, because I do want to take the frog on the world tour. So I guess maybe we do that. Yeah, I guess we should do that. That kind of makes more sense, and we'll also find out if it's a boss rush or not. I mean, we have the mitt, so we're okay. But the problem is that doing Thieves Town without the hammer could be really dangerous, especially if there's an item behind the hammer. So I would kind of like to do it in one fell swoop. So I'm going to pause on Thieves Town for right now. So technically the hammer could be in Thieves Town, in the dungeon itself, but Village of Outcasts is going to be done no matter what. Might as well do that first. And we got the swag net. So once we get bottles, we can do all that. So yeah, I'm gonna do this in a little bit of a different order than normal. I'm actually gonna go first, do the digging game, come back, get the smith, do the Smith World Tour. Once I'm done there, depending on the items that we get along the way, we'll decide what dungeons we're in. And I want to see what the seed is gonna call us to do as well. I'll leave that heart piece there. Don't really need it. All right, Jeremiah, you come with me. We're gonna go on a little world tour. Actually, we're gonna go on a big world tour. You're gonna come with me in all kinds of places. And without the mirror, we can't really check the mirror locations here, which is kind of unfortunate. Ooh, tempered sword. Nice. And bombos and quake and a heart piece and bombos, quake. So ether's our only medallion left. And I forgot to check whether what Turtle Rock was while I was there, but hopefully it's not a 7, hopefully it's just a normal 7/7 defeat Ganon, in which case we don't ever have to step foot in Turtle Rock as long as we live. Unless the ice rod is buried on the pedestal and it's still and there's still a slim chance that that is a possibility. Because if it is a boss shuffle, then technically speaking, oh yeah, we have access to Ice Palace now, don't we? Oh, gross. We're not going into Ice Palace until we absolutely have to. I can't. It's one of the places I can't stand. There's so many things about Ice Palace that are terrible. So we're gonna just stay away from it as long as possible. Let's first find out what this seed wants us to do. This is the way around the hammer pegs. And the pyramid will tell you whether or not it is what the requirements are. And even if we don't know if it's fast scanning, which means we don't have to go into GT necessarily. Still don't know that. That will be known momentarily. And it is, let's see. You need, so it is a pedestal seed. All right, so what does that mean? That means that we will have to go through Turtle Rock, Swamp Palace, and Pod in order to clear this seed. We do have to go all the way to the pet. That's it. We don't need to do anything else. So what do we need for Turtle Rock? Well, so now the question is realistically from here, the best thing to say is we can go clear Swamp Palace right now. In fact, I'm going to do that as soon as I turn Jeremiah in, and I'll tell you why. Because it is the largest of our dungeons that and Pod we can't do without the hammer. So we're kind of at the mercy of where we find the hammer. But basically, we need the hammer, the bow, hammer. So I'm trying to think of go mode. Hammer, bow, lamp, ice rod. I think that's it. Hammer, bow, possibly ether. But we now know for sure it is a pedestal seed. So that is good news, sort of. I guess. Meaning we don't have to kill Ganon. So hopefully, so the problem is that, so we don't necessarily have to go into Ice Palace unless, so what we don't know still is if it is a, so Thieves Town really doesn't make sense right now to go into just yet when we can clear full clear Swamp Palace, which is a pendant dungeon. And in this case, it is better to do pendant dungeons than crystal dungeons. Try to get as much out of those. And like I said, we can almost do that without even touching any of the other dungeons. Now, we still can't do Eastern Palace technically because we don't have the bow. So we still need the bow if we want to do Eastern Palace, and obviously for other things. There's the first bottle, though. That opens up Sick Kid finally. Oh my goodness gracious. So we are now thinking go mode. We need the bow no matter what. We can full clear Swamp Palace, and we need ether and ice rod for Turtle Rock. There's the cape. That is kind of meaningless now. So I'm thinking the best way to handle the rest of this seed. Oh yes, we need the hammer as well, and the lamp to do Turtle Rock. We might as well check Misery Mire's shed, because in theory there is a small chance that we may want to step foot into Misery Mire. Although I'd rather not, but I just want to see what it is ether, and good we don't have it. So we know that this is Misery Mire for sure. And like I said, checking the mire shed is never a bad thing. Oh wait, we can't do swamp. We do not have the mirror. We need to find the mirror. Oh, there's the boots. We are boots. So now all of our boots locations are open now. Which is really not that much, technically speaking. Well, no. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it leaves King's Tomb, potentially, I guess. But we can, yeah, we still don't have the hammer to do. We can do part of, we can't do Graveyard Ledge yet without the mirror. We still need the mirror, obviously, also, which I just thought of as well. Not $100 though, that is not what we want. I think Pod is our best bet. Pod or Thieves Town. I think Thieves Town. We're gonna go into Thieves Town first. I say that because we can full clear it easily, relatively speaking. So now, technically, I guess this could be an Oops All Dungeon Seed. Let's see what happens. Because we still need the mirror. We still need a lot of items. We still need bow, mirror, ice rod, hammer, lamp. So we still need a lot of items. Potentially book. And this dungeon isn't as terrible if you have the equipment that we have already. It's actually not as terrible. So oh wait, there's another chest up here. That I forgot about. I say if this is hammer, we're out of here. The big word was if. The problem is clearing out Thieves Town doesn't really kind of doesn't really help us. Well, there's 10 bombs. That again does not help us, unfortunately. Well, there's the key to the basement. Oh my goodness. Alright, there's gonna be something in that basement. There's just gonna be something in that basement. I could tell when there's something in that basement, when the game just gives you everything you need to get down there except for the hammer. So let's see, is this? Yep, so this is a standard pet seed, nothing special about it. So no boss rando, or at least not yet. And I don't even have a single way to, like, get health, do I? Gotta be as careful as possible here. Because I'm down to 2 hearts. And unless I'm lucky and I get Sankard here, I'm gonna be in trouble. So Kind of hoping for a fairy in a bottle or something. I mean, I know the stun prize is up. Oh, and I needed that heart to leave. Oh. Of course it did. You're not going to give me enough for a heart container, are you? And definitely nothing there that's going to help us. We still have Graveyard Ledge if we wanted to do that, but I don't really see very much effort in doing Graveyard Ledge yet without the mirror. Your best bet is to actually reset the room. And the biggest problem is the lamp could almost be anywhere. But if it was down to it, I think I could do Turtle Rock without the lamp if I had to. Because it's really... it's not as many hard rooms in Turtle Rock. Oh, I will take that heart though. The good thing is I have Tempered Sword. The bad news is that I have I'm hoping that the next two things are items and not that Blind drops the compass or that the compass is here. That would be really bad. There's the mirror. All right, so as long as Blind does not drop the compass, we are fine. I could beat Blind with Tempered Sword and mostly the King of Berna. It probably won't be the prettiest fight in the universe, but, and again, I did the same thing as I did before. So we're gonna get our Arcane ready here, and we will fight Blind, hoping. The first phase, I can almost always get him. It's the next two that I'm not as easy with yet. Down goes Blind. Please don't drop the compass. Yes! Alright, we know where the compass is. It is locked behind the hammer. Whew. So that now we can go do Swamp Palace because that makes the most sense. Actually, it also unlocks all the mirror locations too. So that might make more sense to do all the mirror locations first. Yes, that makes a lot more sense. Let's do all the mirror locations that we can. Go away, thief. Because we are now on the search for less and less items. We still do not have access to the old man. So we don't know that. I'm kind of hoping to not see the lamp until we're kind of in go mode. So let's do Graveyard Ledge first, King's Tomb, morph back around to do And I am staying away from Ice Palace, although we can technically do it. I don't like that we can technically do it. I'm actually going to leave my portal there for a reason. Get a new portal. Might as well check the other mirror locations. We have a couple of easy mirror locations to check. We can, now that I think about it, we can also full clear Skull Woods too, can't we? Yes, we can. Yes, we can. It's like the search for the ice rod is going to be the biggest part of the problem here, unfortunately for us. So we can check all these mirror locations. We can go do Swamp Palace and hope that we don't ever have to go in and hope for the hammer. Because realistically, the hammer is really the most important item right now. It is actually not the lamp, as much as the lamp is important. The lamp just opens up too much. The lamp opens up too much. Too many dungeons that can be completed. The bow, we obviously still need 2. I don't want to see the book ever. Although actually, yeah, we can actually get in. Never mind. We can actually do that too. Oh my goodness. Because I just realized we could actually do all this too now. I might as well get 2 items if I can at a desert palace. If I can get the 2 items out of here. That would be helpful. And how many times have people seen Bo on Laser Bridge? And that we have to go all the way through that wonderful dungeon called Turtle Rock. Well, we do know we need the ice rod no matter what. So that is, I guess, a good thing. There's our second bottle. And item number 2. So one of these obviously has to be the big key. And hopefully the other item. Oh, there's the other item. So we are done here. Right? Because... yeah, we're done here. Because we don't need the crystal. That was a worthwhile check.